Date night fragrances. I've got you guys covered. The last time that I did this video was like early-ish last year. So I thought I wanted to redo the list for 2019, at least in my personal opinion. What are the best date night fragrances, especially because like Valentine's Day is coming up and stuff like that. I thought it would be a good time to do it now. So I'm going to show you guys my top 10 recommendations for a date. These, like I just said earlier, these are like what I would want to smell on somebody if I was on a date with somebody. These would be my top 10. Wait, I actually have 11, so 10 and an honorable mention. So I'm going to start out with my honorable mention. Let's just get straight into it. This one is from Chanel, and in my opinion this is the best from the house of Chanel, at least with what I like to smell on a guy. This is Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. Now I feel like most people probably wouldn't put this in their date night list, because when you think of a date night you think of a bit sweet and a bit kind of like, I guess sweet is what I was trying to say. And this is very fresh, but it's not fresh in a way where it smells too citrusy or too zesty. To me, this one is just the perfect balance of everything. It's got a little bit of a freshness, like that kind of shower gel smell, but it's got a sweetness. Every time I smell this one, I literally have not a bad thing to say about it. Like I said, it's fresh, but it's not fresh where it doesn't work at night or in the winter. It's just the perfect balance, like I said, of everything. You could also replace this with like Dior Sauvage or Bleu de Chanel, but this one is my favorite out of the fresher scents, but still has like a sexiness to it. And to me, Allure Homme Sport is very masculine, which I absolutely love about it, which I find very sexy. If I was on a date and a guy smelled very masculine, I really like that. So my number 11, Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. Okay, so my number 10 is from Tom Ford, and this is Tobacco Vanille. I absolutely adore this fragrance. This is in my collection, and I love it so much. I don't think that this is too feminine. I think that this is absolutely sits in the middle of being a unisex scent. It smells incredible on men. It also smells incredible on women. It's a beautiful vanilla tobacco scent. There's a lot of spice in here, a lot of like a cinnamony sort of vibe. It always reminds me of like Whole Foods, like how Whole Foods smelled when I went to New York City. It's just like all these beautiful spices and cloves with some sweet vanilla, but it's not sickly or anything like that. It's just amazing. So Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford is my number 10. I find it very sexy. It's one of those scents that I want to like kind of get closer to, if you know what I'm saying. So definitely check that one out. Coming in at my number 9 is a fragrance that I included in my 2019 list. This is from Christian Dior, and it is Dior Homme Intense. I absolutely love this fragrance. I think it is an absolute masterpiece, and I feel like a lot of people agree with me. So many of you guys were harassing me to get the Parfum. You didn't actually harass me, but so many people like, get the Parfum, it's so much better. So in my opinion, just wear either the Intense version or the Parfum on a date and you are set. You are absolutely 100% set, because to me, this fragrance, I said it in my video, but I just want to cuddle up to this scent. Like, it feels so warm. It feels like a blanket of powdery, irisy, like waxy, just so smooth and incredible. It gives me like a really fuzzy feeling, like I just want to cuddle up, like I said. So just go and try it. It is absolutely incredible. It has a really light kind of aromaticness to it as well, because there is lavender in here. But it's just so smooth, and it's just an absolute masterpiece. So Dior Homme Intense from Christian Dior, I highly recommend it. I do recommend it for a date. I think it's perfect. Especially if you're like kind of in a close setting, this is the one to go to for sure. If you're like kind of cuddling up, watching a movie or something, that's perfect. So my next one is from Giorgio Armani, and this one is Stronger With You. I absolutely hate the name, but the fragrance is actually very good. It's very sweet, it's vanilla, it's aromatic, it's nutty, but I absolutely love this fragrance, and I think it smells so good. To be honest with you guys, I feel like this one is quite unisex, if I'm going to be totally honest, leaning a little bit more masculine, but it is a pretty unisex scent because it's very, very sweet. This one is compared to Maison Margiela's By the Fireplace. I do kind of prefer By the Fireplace, but this one is still a great scent. So Emporio, did I say Giorgio? I mean Emporio Armani's Stronger With You. Great fragrance. It's sweet, it's nutty, it's delicious. It's one of those fragrances that you kind of, it smells very edible to me, and it makes me want to, you know, like go closer. That's what I'm saying. My number 7 is a fragrance that I haven't talked about this one for a pretty long time, but it is one of the best date fragrances in my personal opinion because it smells so delicious and edible, and I just want to smell this on a date with a guy. This is Valentino's Uomo, not the Uomo Intense, just the original, because this one to me, oh my god, it is so good. It is very, like I said, it's very edible. Again, this is I just ate it. I'm ingesting Valentino Uomo. So delicious. It is chocolate and it's hazelnut, and I'm a big fan of Nutella, and that is kind of what this fragrance reminds me of in a little bit. And again, this one's kind of one that sits a little bit unisex. Like, I would definitely wear this one. I don't let that scare you at all. It doesn't smell feminine. I'm just saying it's a pretty unisex kind of gourmandy sort of scent. It's just delicious. Like, I can't say anything else about it. Like I said, nutty, sweet, it's just amazing. So Valentino's Uomo, definitely highly recommended from me. Alrighty, coming in at my number 6 is a fragrance that I talk about so much, and so many of you guys have bought this one because of me, and I'm pretty sure I've never received bad feedback about this fragrance ever. This is from Christian Dior, and it is Ambre Nuit. Now this one is rose, it's bergamot, it's pink pepper, it's ambergris. It is the most beautiful ambery kind of scent, but very light, very sparkling, very romantic, and just amazing. There is, like I said, there is nothing that I can say about this fragrance in a negative way. I think it is absolutely incredible. It's perfect. It is the perfect fragrance in my opinion, especially if you're kind of going somewhere dressed up. I would say if you're going to like a beautiful restaurant, or, you know, you're doing something a bit more expensive, a bit more upper class, wear Ambre Nuit and you're going to have her going crazy. Whereas if you're kind of in a more intimate, like kind of on the couch cuddling up, I recommend like the Uomo, the Stronger With You, and the Dior Homme Intense. They're a little bit more of those like sweet, kind of edible, comforting sort of fragrances. But Ambre Nuit to me is one that you may wear with like a suit or to a really beautiful dinner or something like that. Ambre Nuit is your go-to. So Christian Dior's Ambre Nuit, definitely check it out. Guys, it is one of the best fragrances that I've ever smelled on a guy. Especially, it is just phenomenal. My number 5 is a fragrance. Again, I've talked about this one quite a lot. I do feel like these two they're not similar. They do not smell similar whatsoever, but they give me the same feeling when I smell them. They're not too aggressive. They're not, you know, too in your face or too sweet or too anything. They're just kind of these perfectly balanced fragrances that have a little bit of spice in them, a little bit of sweetness. They're just beautiful. So did I even say what this is? This is Yves Saint Laurent's La Nuit de l'Homme. This is in so many like people's date night fragrance videos because it is pretty perfect for a date. I don't see a woman smelling this and not liking it, to be honest with you guys. I don't think that there would be one woman that would object to this fragrance because it is that good. I like literally lose control when I smell this fragrance. It's cardamom heaven. It's a little bit spicy and aromatic and sweet, but it's not too much of anything. Like I said, it's kind of like the same with this one. They're not too much of anything. I don't know which one I find sexier. Possibly La Nuit de l'Homme because it's a little bit more masculine, but it is just incredible. And I have nothing bad to say about it again. So Yves Saint Laurent, La Nuit de l'Homme, I know a lot of people talk about it, but it's for a reason. It's popular for a reason. People love it for a reason. It is one of the most perfect fragrances. My number 4 is, oh my god, this fragrance again is more of a delicious kind of fragrance that you catch a whiff and you're just like, I would like a taste of that. This one is from Parfums de Marly, and this is Eau Jaune. I have nothing else to say about this fragrance besides apple cinnamon pie in a bottle. It literally is the most realistic, mouth-watering apple cinnamon pie smell ever. This is it. This is the epitome of the apple cinnamon pie. So Eau Jaune is absolutely delicious. It's honey, tonka, cinnamon. And I was almost going to include Herod, but to me, which one I would prefer to smell on a guy in like a close encounter, we're on a date, we're snuggling, I would prefer to smell Eau de Jaune in my personal opinion. So Eau de Jaune from Parfums de Marly, my god, is it tasty. My next one is a pretty predictable one because if you guys keep up with me, you know that I love this fragrance, I adore this fragrance. It's never going to not make it into one of my lists, and it is Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male. And this one, I've talked about it time after time. To me, it's a pretty like masculine, like a classic masculine fragrance underneath, but it just has this beautiful, delicious, seductive sweetness on top, but without being a gourmand like something like Eau de Jaune. This is not a gourmand, but it has just the right amount of sweetness to make you really just want to go in. So Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male, it's lavender. Like I said, it's got that typical kind of barbershop masculine vibe going on, but with that sexy aromatic sweetness in there as well. So please guys, this one is one that I would recommend to every single guy. And I've said this many times, if I had a partner, this is possibly one that I would want to be his signature scent. If I could pick a signature scent for a guy, I would want to smell this all day, every day, because it drives me crazy and I absolutely adore it. My number 2 is a very expensive fragrance, but I had to include it because this fragrance to me is a 10 out of 10. This smells so incredibly good. I've been wearing this one quite a bit recently and I've fallen back in love with it. I fell in love with it when I first got it, and then I kind of stopped wearing it because it's so expensive, and then I re-pulled it out and just fell back in love with it. This is a unisex fragrance called Rehab from Initio Parfums. And my god, is this divine, smooth, heavenly fragrances that I've ever smelled. Like, smooth is the word that comes to mind when I smell it. It's got a little bit of an aromaticness in there. I'm pretty sure there's lavender in there. There's cedar, there's sandalwood. I definitely get the sandalwood because the notes are on the back here. Gaiac wood, patchouli, but it is just incredible. Like, if I'm going to be honest with you guys, I really don't smell many of the notes besides a sweetness, a smoothness, a sandalwoody kind of vibe with a little bit of an aromaticness going on as well. I have seen people compare this one to Viktor & Rolf Spice Bomb. I wouldn't say that they smell the same, personally to me. I would say that maybe there's a similar vibe going on, but this one is so much more refined and smooth and, in my opinion, better. So that's why I didn't include Spice Bomb in here, because to me, if you could choose between Spice Bomb and this fragrance and you have the money, I would 100% go with Rehab. So Rehab from Initio, please check it out. It is such an incredible scent. Like, I wouldn't have put it at my number 2 if it wasn't amazing. It's an amazing fragrance that you need to get on it. So there we go. Can you guys guess? Like, I feel like you guys are going to predict what my number 1 is, because I'm going to say this right now. This fragrance is my favorite fragrance for a man ever. I have never smelled something so incredible, and that's why it's my number 1. I don't really even know what to say. Parfums de Marly Layton, just the original Layton. If I could create a fragrance for a man, it would smell something like this. To be honest with you guys, like, I would want it to smell something like this, which I wouldn't because that's copying, but it just smells, it smells so perfect. It's sweet, vanilla, apple, aromatic. It is just so heavenly. Like, I don't really know what to say. So many of you guys, and when I say so many, I have literally been flooded, my DMs, emails, and messages of you guys buying Layton. So many of you have bought Layton, and literally every single one of you are so stoked with your purchase, and that makes me so happy because I am not being paid to say great things about this fragrance. I genuinely love the way that it smells. Same with all of the Parfums de Marly fragrances that I've personally tried. But Layton is a fragrance that you need. Like, you need this fragrance in your collection. It is so sexy. It's sweet, but it's not too sweet. Like I said, it's aromatic, and it's just hands down one of the best fragrances that I've smelled ever. No, you guys won't be disappointed. with this one at all. So that is my number one. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this list. Yeah, I feel like it was a really good list for a date night. So you can use these on Valentine's Day or to seduce a girl or a guy, whoever. So yeah, that is my 11 picks for a date night. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I'll list everything down below for you guys. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!